Hey friends, I'm Amanda Saez and welcome to Pretty Extra. So you guys are probably wondering, like, where on earth did you come up with just creating a podcast? Like, is this something that you just decided to do, or have you been thinking about this for a long time? Absolutely not. I have not been thinking about this for a very long time. This is literally like the most random thing that I have thought of. I literally, it popped into my head like, oh, maybe I should do a podcast. And I just took it and ran with it. I was like, let me do a podcast. I started thinking of a name within like 24 to 48 hours. I was like, okay, like this is it. And then for like 2-3 weeks, I was like thinking of ways to like create an entire ethos around it, and voila, Pretty Extra. Now we have it. So yeah, there was no like real huge big thought behind it, like, oh my God, one day I want a podcast. Like, no, I never had that. It was literally the most random thing. But honestly, the way that my life works, I'm not very surprised at all because I'm literally like the most random person ever. I just have like ideas pop up, and if I really want to do it, like I'm the type of person that will just go after it. Like I have to do it no matter what. So we'll see how this goes. And you know, my parents, they're always telling me, Amanda, you went to school for communication and media studies and you studied journalism. When are you gonna have a real job in like your degree? And I'm like, you know what? This is my way of having a job in my degree. Now I have a podcast, so no one can tell me anything at all. And honestly, like, no hate to my parents, and my parents actually support me very much in what I do. But people like they're in their generation, they don't really understand what like influencing and all that kind of stuff is like. So when I tell them things that I'm doing with influencing, they just don't get it. You know, I can't expect my 74-year-old dad to understand what influencing is. So they just think that like me getting my degree and getting like a 9-to-5 job is what I should be doing. And I understand that. I did go to college and I got multiple degrees. So you know, I always have my degrees, but this is how I'm using it. And here we are today. And you know, how I came up with the name, it was so funny because at first I was like, oh, something trendy and cute. And I was like, Just a Girl podcast, or I'm Just a Girl, because that's really cute and trendy and stuff. But at the same time, it's also like kind of makes girls sound weak. And I didn't like that, because I wanted something that was like empowering and not like making girls sound like small. I also wanted it to kind of be similar to my personality. And I feel like Pretty Extra is literally my personality in a nutshell. So yeah, that's kind of how I came up with it. I literally wanted it to be my entire personality and like an entire brand surrounding that. And so that was pretty cool. And I'm hoping that it basically makes people feel confident in who they are and embrace who they are without feeling bad about being extra, or just being confident in who they are. Like I remember being in my hometown when I was younger, and people would like laugh at me because I would like go to like Friendly's or Applebee's and I would be like overly dressed, but that's just like how I am. Like that's just my personality. And now that I live in Miami, like if you're not dressed super nice, like people will look at you like, what are you doing here? They'll literally like kick you out. So I belong here. I definitely belong in Miami. But I feel like this whole podcast like stems a little bit from that. Like it's like, oh, I'm extra. Let me embrace that. And like you should be able to embrace that. You should be able to feel confident in who you are, and you should not feel bad about it. Like you should be unapologetically yourself. And so I love that about this podcast. You do not have to even be extra to watch this podcast or listen to it. You can literally be the complete opposite, as long as you can vibe with it. If you like having fun and you like laughing and you like this whole vibe, like by all means, enjoy it. Like this is extremely inclusive. So I appreciate everyone who watches and listens. We also have a little mascot, Chi-Chi. Come here. This is my little Chihuahua, Chi-Chi. She is my pride and joy. I adore her. She was just napping, so I woke her up and now she's not happy with me. But she is our mascot. You will see her. You might hear her bark every once in a while. And I'm going to put her back to sleep because she is very irritated with me. But I just wanted to let you guys know that that is the pretty extra mascot. And oh, she's growling at me. Yeah, she's pissed. I dress her up. I make her pretty extra. I have a stroller for her for when it's hot outside and the pavement's too hot so that her paws don't burn, which I think is very thoughtful, but people will look at her and be like, oh my God, this girl. But, you know, I'm just like thinking about her. She has like a bunch of pink clothes. She has like the nicest beds and everything. What, now you're mad at me because I put you down? So yeah, that is pretty much about the show. You're gonna see a lot of pink, a lot of sparkly, a lot of like just girly feminine things, and I love that for us. Honestly, it's all about being bougie and being cool and just fun. I'm gonna have like really fun guests on the show. I'm gonna have a lot of friends, a lot of big influencers, models, stuff like that. All of my friends back at home I would love to have, because like we have so many good memories, maybe a few celebrities, so we will see. I just wanted to do a quick introduction. Every Monday at 8 a.m. we will have a new episode, so stay tuned, and thank you so much for listening. And Chi-Chi is ready to go back home now. Bye guys.